Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for Nantucket. This is a brand new game that just came out a couple days ago as of the writing of this, or the recording of this video. Yeah, I've been watching a few videos of it over the last week or so of some people that had some pre-release copies of it, and it looked like a lot of fun, looked like something that was right up my alley, of just a little bit of strategy, a little bit of tactics and things like that, a little bit of RPG element as well. So it's pretty solid little game for just being kind of one of those indie games, if you will. But yeah, I like the art on it, the artistic styling, some of the music, which hopefully doesn't get flagged on YouTube. I don't know, we'll find out. But a lot of the music and stuff like that is also really cool. So let's jump into the game. Oh, the premise behind the game is, and you'll see us in a second, we're gonna actually go through the tutorial as well. But the premise is that we're playing a captain who was on the ship, from Moby Dick, and the ship got sunk. He's the survivor, and now he's trying to make a name for himself as a whale boater, going out and hunting whales and things like that. There's gonna be pirates and other things like that in the mix as well. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Ishmael is the default captain choice. There's no way to change the picture at this time, at least, which is fine. We're just going to change the name to Broyar. Why not? We'll keep things the same as well. We have 4 basic skills, I guess, for lack of a better term. I guess these are skills, and what these also equate to is dice rolls that you get, and you'll see a little bit more about that as we get into the game. But if we have at least 1 point in each of these things, we'll at least get a basic dice for each of those different categories, and then as we add more and more points to them, we get more and more different sides to those dice. It's a 6-sided dice and things like that, plus some other little tidbits in here and there. We'll see some more of that as we get into the game. There's also traits down here, and we'll look at that in just a second. So let's go ahead and pick our basic skill here. So hunters are men without fear, born to chase their prey. They can stand on a whaleboat's bow, sailing toward danger, or face the wickedest pirate without hesitation. Now, if I remember right from some of the videos I was watching, there's a couple different flavors as well to each of these categories. And by flavors, I mean, all right, you're going to have a guy that's a hunter that is very geared towards hunting whales. Or you can also have a guy that's a hunter who's maybe a little bit more leaning towards fighting pirates. So he's able to use guns better than the harpoons, and vice versa and things like that. So we'll see how that plays again a bit more as we get into the game. So hunting would give us, a point in hunting. There's sailing. Our valiant explorers who spend their lives at sea, be the vessel a majestic galleon or a whaleboat or a simple board. They know how to keep it afloat. Science. Scientists are investigators of the natural world. Their curiosity and competence can unlock the sea's mysteries and secrets, and above all, save lives on your ship. Now, one thing that science guys definitely have available to them is the ability to heal the other people on their ship. Or on their whaleboat and things like that. So that's a huge boost. Crafting. Craftsmen are expert artisans who specialize in all of the ship's practical errands. Their hands are surely the dirtiest and most useful at sea. The craftsmen are going to be the guys that can help repair the ship. They're also going to be the guys that can turn the whale's blubber into oil. So there's some things that we'll have to see about that. Now, do we need our captain, our main guy here, to have that? Probably not. But we may actually end up wanting him to have a little bit of everything, so he's a jack of all trades. So we'll see that a bit more as we dig into it. I'm kind of leaning towards either science or hunting as the first point for our captain. Hunting is going to make him better at, obviously getting the whales. Science would give us a fairly cheap early guy that can heal people. So I'm actually thinking with our very first point, I think I am going to take the science, because we can get a basic hunter anywhere, and just about everybody can hunt. Even like basic cabin boys who have no skills whatsoever, they at least have a couple sides to their dice to be able to throw a spear a little bit. So it's something. So I think eventually we will want him to be a hunter, because I think we're going to take him a lot of voyages with us, or a lot of the whaling encounters with us. But I think his initial point with science is going to be great. Choosing our traits. So there's only 5 at the moment, which is cool. I think there's some pretty good traits here. We have a smart trait, plus 1 point to spend in attributes. Which I guess that's what those are. I was calling them skills, but I guess they're actually attributes. Plus 1 point to spend in attributes. We have strong, plus 2 damage in combat against sea creatures. That could come in very handy. Old Sea Dog, plus 50% HP regained during the navigation. That's pretty good. Plus 1 HP per level. Well, seeing as the game is over if our captain dies, getting more HP per level is very important. Plus 1 XP gained per day of navigation. Now this helps us out a lot in the early game because, you know, just a few days out at sea, you know, a couple months out at sea or whatever, you know, you're going to have, you know, 60 XP right there. And, you know, that's really going to help you play into being able to level your character a lot quicker. Now, towards the later, as he gets a little bit higher level, that's going to taper off a little bit because +1 XP is less impactful, I believe. As I'm assuming, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming as you level up and like as you see in a lot of other RPGs, it's going to take more and more XP per level. So maybe +1 doesn't mean quite as much to you. Plus, the thing about this is, I believe the only way we get this is the navigation is actually the guy steering the boat, obviously, which makes perfect sense for a captain. But I don't know that I want my captain to be tied down to the wheel all the time, because there's actually some really good sailors out there who could give us better speed and other things like that if we're able to put them in that spot. And if we're always worried about putting our captain there, it might not be so good for us. I'm kind of leaning towards either smart or old sea dog or healthy. Healthy's really good. You know what? We'll do smart. We'll do smart. +1 extra attribute. I think that sounds good. So we did science already. Could go ahead and take that hunting die and help him to be able to do more damage and stuff, which I think I like that. I think we're going to lean a little bit more towards the science side of things. But again, I think we at least want 1 point in, you know, maybe all of these categories at some point. I am going to go ahead and turn on Sea Dog. That is going to basically be like a Iron Man mode, if you will, where we can't reload a save necessarily, which, you know, I think that's going to be fine. Although I say that in our XCOM games, usually when we have the Iron Man mode, it's usually when something like buggy breaks and we end up having to, you know, the game crashes or whatever like that and it messes up a little bit. But I think it'll be all right. We'll see if we can leave that on. Plus, I think this is the only way we get achievements, which, hey, everybody likes achievements, right? And we will go ahead and play through the tutorial. So let's get this going. Nantucket. Take out your map and look at it. See how it stands there away offshore, lonelier than the Eddystone Lighthouse. Welcome to Nantucket. This tutorial will introduce you to the core features of the game. Follow the instructions in the panel below in order to proceed, or press exit tutorial to end this tutorial. Press the next button. Fair enough. After speaking with Captain Bildad and Peleg, you get a job on the whaling ship Pequod, under the Captain Ahab. Your friend Queequeg is at the tavern, and you got him a chance of shipping out with you. He told you he has killed more whales than you can count. Meet him at the tavern. So let's go ahead and look at the tavern. So obviously this thing blinking over here. I love the art. This art is really cool. Yeah, this is awesome. All right, so the tavern is the place where all the mariners come for a drink, and it is the best place to find new crew members. Crew members are divided into 5 classes according to the key attributes. Sailors, which is the blue one. Hunters, which is the red one. Craftsmen, this yellow one right here. Science, and then you have cabin boys, which are classless characters you can hire and train into any of these other classes. So it might be good for us to have at least 1 or 2 cabin boys so that we can level them up ourselves and really kind of pick exactly what we want them to be. So find Queequeg by selecting the Hunters tab. So here's the Hunters tab, and there he is. Queequeg. That's not how you say that. I apologize. By selecting a character, you can check his stats. So here's his stats. You don't have to pay to hire a crew member. According to his class and level, each character will take part of your future incomes, your lay. So he takes 6% of our income. The only limits are represented by the maximum crew capacity of your ship and your actual prestige. The price and prestige of each crew member is equal to his level. So this guy costs us 6 or 5 prestige to grab because he's level 5. We have a ton of prestige available because this is Ahab. Obviously, this is still the tutorial. So yes, we can definitely go ahead and hire this guy. Let's see what kind of traits he has. He has swimmer trait. While retreating, he can't be targeted by enemy attacks in combat. So if we have to retreat from combat, he's safe. That's good to see. He also has fasten, which is you're gonna see more of that later. It's gonna be able to keep a whale from submerging, which is awesome. It's very helpful. And then Paymaster, all of his attacks causes the characters to bleed, or the creatures to bleed, which is very, very helpful as well. Just a little bit of extra damage ticking every time. So let's go ahead and hire him up. The shipwright. Bildad asks you to reach the master's shipwright's office and order some improved harpoons. At the shipwrights, you can buy new ships, repair your current one, or access the shipwright workshop, where you can improve your ship's compartments. So let's go check out here. Ships are divided into 3 categories: small, medium, and big. Makes sense. According to the number of masts. Bigger ships can be equipped with more whaleboats and carry more men because they have more compartments available. Again, logical. By using this interface, you can also upgrade your technologies, improving your ship and allowing you to access better ships. Upgrade the harpoons as requested by Bildad. So here's the harpoons over here, the one that's blinking. We've got all sorts of things that we can upgrade. And I guess you can see the little arrows here of things that are currently upgradable. This is a pretty solid ship right here. It's a standard clipper, and it actually has all the different various, things, which is awesome because I'm assuming that's to teach you some of the stuff as you're doing the tutorial. So we're going to research this. We have $900, I guess, for lack of a better currency, $900 here, and it says it'll take us 90 days, but I don't think we'll actually get that far. So yeah, upgrade our currency, our harpoons. The merchant. On your way back to the tavern, you meet Peleg. He's in a hurry to complete the preparation to weigh anchor and passes you a shopping list, pointing you toward the merchant's shop. You can find all the resources you will need to survive your seafaring adventures at the merchant shop: food, water, wood, and grog. So go into the merchant. So now we can buy all the supplies needed for travel. Water, food, and grog are your fundamental items needed to keep you and your crew alive and happy during your travels, while the wood is fundamental to repairing your ship and whaleboats. Makes sense? Always remember to leave some space on your ship's hold for whale oil and blubber. You're going on a hunt, not a cruise. That makes perfect sense. So we don't want to just have 150 combined weight of all of this stuff and only leave 10 for whales. We want to get the bare minimum we need to be able to get out and come back safely, but not too much, which makes perfect sense. So this right now is telling us to take 20 water, which we'll take 20 of that. This is the top one is water. Yes, okay. 20 water is about 91 days. Sounds good to me. 10 food barrels, 100 days. That's pretty good. 3 grog barrels, and this is going to make our people happy. That's only 46 days worth, but it's all right. And then 5 wood barrels. Are they actually barrels of wood? I wonder if it's barrels of wood or actually just like lashings of wood, but maybe it is actually barrels. Who knows? So that looks good to me. Now you're ready to set sail on the Pequod. Before reaching the ship, you stop to buy a newspaper, knowing that it'll take months before you'll get fresh news again. The newspaper contains news from all around the world and information you can use during your travels. So we'll open the newspaper, and that's this little dude here. Apart from the world news and pirate activity reports probably good to know, the newspaper contains a jobs page where you can find errands to complete in order to increase your prestige and fill your pockets. We'll check the jobs page. Maybe you can find something useful to report to Captain Ahab. So then we'll get some little bits of news as we progress through the time periods. Just things that are kind of relevant to those time periods, such as, British forces defeat Baji Rao II and take control of the Maratha Empire. Is that India, maybe? I'm presuming around that time. And some other little bits of news, which is pretty cool. Discover a new whaling area. Baffin Bay. It's going to give us $200, and it's only about 8 days away. Sounds good to me. You're finally ready to join the rest of the Pequod's crew and set sail. You do not meet Captain Ahab, but you're sure he's going to teach you a lot about the life at sea. And with Queequeg covering your back, you're sure nothing can go wrong. ... Something tells me something's going to go wrong. I might have already spoiled it a little bit, I'm sure, because yeah, something's going to go wrong, and we're going to have to start our adventures with barely anything. But we'll get through that after we get through the tutorial. Pretty typical for games like this to give you a tutorial with a ship that's just decked to the teeth, so you can kind of see what you got in store for you down the road. While you're working to release the sails, the Pequod's first mate, Starbuck, approaches you, ordering you to tell Flask to come to the deck and wait at the steering wheel for Captain Ahab's command. Open the ship management interface and interact with the crew. So we're going to expand this. This is the ship interface. We can see all the different people we have on our ship and kind of where they're at within regards, to their skills and things like that. So like up here we have the, the guy in the crow's nest. He's got plus 25% field of view upgrade level, apparently. Assigned crew bonus is plus 10%. Currently at the helm, we have a guy that has very little sailing speed. So apparently we want to put Flask in that spot instead. He's currently in the sick bay. Presumably this will increase our speed. What's our speed currently? It is 13.2. So if we put you there, so I'm guessing you're actually a sailor. We're up to 13.7. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. He's only level 2. As he levels up more, presumably we'll go faster. Navigation requires both planning and on-the-fly responses to the sea's dangers. The wind rose, okay, it's like a compass rose, below you shows how the wind is blowing at the moment and the directions to take in order to sail windward. The filter above allows you to check the global wind patterns, meaning the most common wind patterns of a specific sea area. So if we click on this, we'll get to see all the different wind, kind of prevailing winds and things like that, which is pretty cool. You can now inform Captain Ahab about the sightings you have read about in Nantucket. Open the quest interface by clicking on the right filter and then select the mission you're interested in. The interface allows you to easily find the destination to complete it. So check this, check the whaling area, go to quest. So that would be this little whaling tail up here. Oh, here's our ability to select where we go. So Captain Ahab was eager to have a chance to test his crew and order them to set sail in the direction of the sightings. You can select a destination by clicking the right mouse button on a point on the map, and then pressing play to confirm. If you hold the shift key while setting the route, it will add points to the current ones, like waypoints and things. You can explore the map by using the left mouse button. So the left mouse button, which I guess we get to right this second because of this tutorial. So if we hit right click here, that's 7 days. Now if we were to, is there a way to cancel that? Yes, come on, cancel. Apparently not with this thing up. Okay, that's fine. I wanted to see if it would be faster if we actually ducked out here a little bit, took the prevailing winds a little bit more directly, and then came up there, but we'll worry about that later after the tutorial. While navigating, check the area surrounding your ship to avoid dangers, such as adverse weather conditions or pirate ships, and keep your resources under control to avoid troubles at sea. Food and water keep the crew alive, grog makes men happy, and wood repairs your ship. And we can, if I remember right, we can actually ration these things if we get a little bit low, so we'll look into that later. Let's go ahead and pause it for just a second. I actually do want to see if... Is there a way to close this? Apparently not. Apparently we're just stuck on this one just based on whatever's going on right now. It's probably just because it's still the tutorial. We're going up to 3x, get up there quicker. Navigation. While navigating, you will have to deal with events that are triggered by your choices and the current status of your men and ship. Your choices can have huge consequences, affecting the crew and shaping your character growth. Captain Ahab walks out of his cabin, shouting orders to Starbuck. His wooden leg echoes like a war drum on the deck. As he reaches you, he stops, watching you work. Hey kid, you clearly have no idea how to scrub a deck. Do you know at least why you are here? So we can get the strong trait. We can get the greedy trait. Doesn't sound like good. Open-minded trait. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Or diligent trait. I'm leaning towards strong or diligent. You know what? I want to become a great captain. Captain. You will learn from the greatest then, cries Ahab as he walks away from you. Diligent trait added. I wonder what that does for us. Let's pause for a second. Am I able to open thing? Not able to click on anything. Again, I think that's because we're in the tutorial. So we'll see if that's what the case is. The lookout spots a creature blowing in the distance, and a whaleboat sent by Captain Ahab confirms that this is the place you were looking for. Ahab sends Stubb to help and orders Starbuck to lower another whaleboat. Starbuck tells you to pick a harpooner and join him. So here's the attack phase. The deployment interface helps you fill your whaleboats with men for the hunt. Every whaleboat works as a single unit, and each character gives to it its own skill and available commands, represented by the sides of their combat dice. So there's a 6-sided dice here. Currently, I only have 3 dice sides available. Starbuck here has 4 sides available with something on them. And each of these does different things, and we can go through that as we get there. Check Pequod's profile by clicking on it. You can assign a character to the whaleboat by dropping him in it. There is no need to fill all your whaleboats. More men mean more chances to win a fight, which is good. Put Pequod in a whaleboat and press the start button to begin the fight and help Stubb. So we'll go ahead and assign him here. He's actually an actual harpooner, which is going to be helpful for us. So we'll hit continue. So we have a single whale here. It's a narwhal. It's an adult. Stubb has been fighting fiercely against the creature, but his whaleboat is in big trouble now. All the men are overboard, as you can see from their status bar, with the little hand coming up out of the water. The creature profile tells you his special ability, always in play, and its current health points. As you can see, it is heavily wounded. So this guy's down to about half health here, looks like. 10 of 21. A fight is composed of consecutive turns, during which each participant plays a card, offensive or defense, and each whaleboat plays a single command among the ones available after the dice are rolled. In order to roll the dice, press the roll button. So we're going to go ahead and roll our dice. I don't think we need any of these things at the moment, protect maneuvers, anything like that. We could be wrong. I haven't really dug into what those are yet. Oh, it's not actually a way for us to do that. Never mind. There is a way for us to pick these dice where we can have him roll combat, like actual attacking dice. But again, presumably because we're still in the tutorial, it's locking some of our decisions out. The creature threatens Stubb's whaleboat. Starbuck decides to move in to help, moving the whaleboat into the creature's line of attack. Use the evasive maneuver command to remove the creature's attack by selecting the command with the left mouse button and then the enemy's card. So by using the evasive maneuver, we can select this, select his card, and I believe this gets rid of that entirely. So this means he's not going to attack these guys who are helpless over here right this turn, which is obviously a great move. Stubb is safe. He and the men with him climb back into their whaleboat. The creature now moves in your direction. Starbuck decides to stand and finish it. All the characters can throw offensive dice apart from their class 1. Select Starbucks hunting dice and roll the dice. So now this is where we can go ahead and select him. And I'm guessing it's just him that they're going to let us do. He's only got 2 sides to this dice as opposed to 4 here because he's not actually specialized in harpooning. But hey, 2's better than none if all we need to do right now is throw a harpoon. Queequeg steps to the whaleboat's bow and aims at the charging creature, waiting for Starbucks' command. Attacks deal direct damage to the enemies. Harpoon damage is related to a character's hunting attribute, the quality of their harpoon, and some traits. Hit the creature. So we'll take Queequeg, and we'll hit the creature. It's enough damage to kill it. There, he's dead. The day is ours. The creature lays motionless, killed by Queequeg's iron. Hunting whales and completing quests is your primary source of experience points and valuable resources. At the end of each fight, you can access the loot interface. Very good. Raise our arm victorious. The post-combat interface is divided into 2 panels. The left panel shows the changes in your crew's experience points and morale, informing you if someone levels up. The right panel shows your loot. Use the buttons to load the blubber and meat on the Pequod and go back to the ship. So grab all the blubber and we'll grab the food. And go back to the ship. Good stuff. Sailing across the ocean, you may discover whaling areas, spots in the ocean where specific type of whales go to feed or mate. Every area is active for 3 months out of the year, and during this time window, you will be able to use it as hunting ground to collect precious blubber to sell. You can show and hide the discovered whaling areas and migration routes using the whaling areas filter on the top left corner of the screen. By highlighting an area or a migration route segment, you'll be able to check the time frame in which it is active. Okay. Press the whaling boat. Oh, there we go. That's what we were waiting for. So now we can see that this one is... Come on. Come up. Active time frame June 21st through September 21st. Perfect. High chance to encounter a narwhal. You've now learned the game's basic mechanics. By bringing your mouse cursor over the interface elements, you can access tooltips that will help you during your adventures. Now go back to the main deck. Captain Ahab wants to speak to everyone.
Drink ye, harpooners, drink and swear, ye men that man the deathful whale boat's bow. Death to Moby Dick. God hunt us all if we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. I was cursed twice by the Lord for my blasphemous promise to hunt Moby Dick, and by Ahab for surviving the Pequod and its sons swallowed by the sea. I was craving to conquer my spot in heaven by striking my iron in Moby Dick's heart. So I headed back to Nantucket, looking for a new ship and wealth-seeking sailors.
All right, well, there's the tutorial. So, obviously, the Pequod was attacked, presumably sunk, because everybody died except for us. And here we are starting out our own adventures. What we got available to us is the Melville, a rotten sloop with not much on it. It's not much more than a dinghy with a sail, basically. And we can see there's a lot of other ships that we can get at some point. Apparently the rotten cutter is actually even worse. So that's actually faster though. More HP. Other than that, it's actually almost the same. So it might actually be an upgrade. So we can look around at this. We can, save up for one of these massive ships, or we could, kind of go little by little and start with one of the smaller ships and kind of slowly work our way up. Here's all the different components that you can upgrade. And we can dig into some of the more of that later as we get a bit closer. But this is kind of where we're at. A 1-star rotten sloop is what we start with. We'll check over here. We have no crew at the moment. We can only have 3, and we've only got 4 prestige to use. So that's going to really make our decisions very, very tight here at the beginning. I'm presuming we're probably going to have at least a cabin boy because they don't cost any prestige at the moment. So we'll have to see what we can do with that. And then, of course, we have to buy some stuff. We got $1,000 to our name, and we'll check the quest as well. But actually, we're going to go ahead and put a cut in here. We got through the tutorial. we're about to start our adventures as our own little captain here of our little dinghy, and see if we can work our way up to a 3-masted awesome ship of you know, whatever, whale conquering whatever. But there will be pirates, there'll be other things that we can do along the way, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So if you did enjoy this intro, and please give me a thumbs up so I know, so that we can kind of keep the series going and things like that. If you didn't, well, I apologize, and hopefully you can help me know what to do better. I personally think this game looks really, really cool and looks like a lot of fun, and I believe I at least personally will have a lot of fun with it. So hopefully you do too as well. So again, please like, please subscribe if you do. But otherwise, we will see you next time as we start our adventures as Captain Broyar. Thank you and goodbye.